The railway sector has recently came back into the limits for an unpleasant reason that has to do with a serious accident in Greece, of course. This tragic event may be the springboard to change everything in the Greek railway, which is decades behind the rest of Europe. Today, for us, the Greeks, the question is how European countries have managed to make the railway the focal point of their transport. What are the safety conditions that are a legacy for so much trust in the railway, which is on one hand the most economical means of transport and on the other hand the most easily accessible means for the common citizen? Today we have the pleasure of having with us Mr. Carsten Sønderbo-Jacobsen, Deputy Director of Danish Railway Security, to develop the profile of the railway sector of an advanced country and at the same time they point out to us that top safety conditions that ensure each operation. Mr. Jacobsen, the floor is yours.
Thanks very much. And thank you for the word. What a lovely place you got down here. My name is Carsten Sønderbo-Jacobsen. As said, I have been in DSB, the Danish State Railways, for 13 years, working with railway safety, and for the last almost 8 years as Deputy Director of Quality, Rail Safety, Security, Environment, and Training. I'm sorry to be here under such tragic circumstances, and of course my thoughts goes to all the victims of the accident and all the family and all of you in Greece. When I was asked by Claus Holm, our Danish ambassador to Greece, if I would like to attend this meeting, I said gladly yes. This is an important topic, how to get forward from such an accident, and if we could help with anything from DSB, we'll be here. I will start with the conclusion. So you can note that, and then you can leave, or you can take the rest of my inputs. I would say three things. Safety is all about the work between human, between systems, and between procedures.
Could you be closer to the microphone?
There are three things that I would say and underline. Human will make mistakes. That's certain. Human errors are normal. Human errors will apply. A system where you have a system only guarded by humans and the barriers humans provide to the system, it will fail once in a while. So number two, I will underline, you need to apply technical solutions to avoid human errors. Technical solutions, and I will get back to what I mean with that. And the third thing is that people are very good to detect problems, to see failures in systems. Software will fail, and technical solution will fail, and other humans will fail. And often it's actually a human who saves the day and see there's something wrong. So that's three things that I will underline from today. I will start to make a little saying about technique and humans. In Europe, we have for more than a century improved. Human life, when you go way back, didn't mean that much. They were expendable. But over the years, last century, this century, human lives are the most important to us. So we develop systems, we develop safe procedures, and we try to do better, lower the risk, and do more good safety in every production. That means in the industry and also in the rail industry. And then in this industry, the three top accidents, three worst things that can happen is derailment, mostly in high speed, it is collision, and it is large-scale fires. And what do we need to do when we have this accident? We need to learn from it. It's very important that we investigate. It's very important that we do standards from the learnings. I think that I have one everybody knows about an incident, an accident. It was the Titanic in 1912. The Titanic, you all know, and in 1914, the IMO, the International Maritime Organization, made a standard on behalf of all the learnings from this accident. They made the SOLAS, the safety of life at sea, And in that, it was described standards for how to build ships. You can't have sections which only are horizontal. You need to have trained staff. You need to have certain equipment to the staff, and so on. You need to have flight boats for everyone. So then you learn from your disasters. You learn from your large and violent accidents, and then you do better. We need to avoid that what we have learned once don't occur again. In Denmark, we had a terrible rail accident in 1988, which defined a new era for the railway sector in Denmark. It was an intercity train going from Aarhus, from Jutland over Fyn to Zealand, and approximately 60 miles from Copenhagen. It had to slow down due to some rail construction works. The train was driving over 100 kilometers an hour. The train driver didn't see the sign where he was supposed to reduce the train to 40 kilometers an hour. We didn't at the time have train control system in Denmark. They were available on the market, but they was not prioritized at the time. He has also a train driver student on board, and none of them saw the sign. They continued to the section and with over 100 kilometers an hour, and we had a derailment. And unfortunately, 2 of the wagons tipped over and landed on a huge stone. It was about 20,000 kilos, and it opened the side of the wagon like a can opener opens a can, and 8 people were immediately killed, and a lot of people were injured heavily. As I said, we need to learn from our accidents. And in Denmark, it escalated the tempo in which we are fitting the system with automatic train control systems. And before '88, we had once every 10 years a large railway accident in Denmark. After fitting the system with this automatic train control, we had lowered the risk a lot, and we only had what you will say. We haven't seen any accident like the one in Sorø that morning ever since. The next version of train control systems are here. You know it probably as ERTMS, European Railway Train Systems, who controls the system. And in Denmark, we have fitted our system. We are fitting now. The S-Bahn is our suburban rail system in Copenhagen and Greater Copenhagen. We finished last year, and I'll give you some insights fast in how that is providing safety and also punctuality. The other is ERTMS. We have now fitted 3 lines in Denmark, and over the next 6 to 8 years, every main line will be fitted with ERTMS. So it's the next level of safety. It's a digital and much more advanced system that provides a further level of safety to the tracks. The S-train, as I said, we stopped fitting last September, so we are fully operating the new system now on the S-Bahn. We have seen in 2021 at that system with the old signal system about 53 signal past danger, whereof 10% was with a high risk potential. After fitting the new system in 2022, we saw 26 signal past danger, and in the 4th quarter, after it was fully implemented, we only saw 2 signal past danger. And furthermore, when I talk about derailment and I talk about collision, then speed is a factor. The system slows the train. The 2 signal past danger we had, they can only go into the system if they make a human error and block out the system and goes into it. And what happens when they do that? Then any other trains will be stopped in the system, and it will only could move forward with a speed of 40 kilometers an hour. So you can see the reduction and the safety level is increased by a lot. Of course, system can fail, and of course it's a human who sits at the front of the train, and he can also provide safety if the system in some way should not apply safety in some situation. But That brings me on to my conclusion. Safety is equally to the level of technique, the training of staff, and to the procedure and the training of these. Human will make mistakes. Human do make errors. So we need to fit the system with some technical solutions so we avoid this in the future. We need to learn from our mistakes. We need to see into that and fully understand that humans will make mistakes. So we need to apply technical solutions to avoid this. And my last point, to reduce say the level of risk also applies humans. Because the system are not fail-safe, we need to apply humans still to surveil or to look into the system and to see if anything is wrong. We are very good to see anomalies, and we're very good to act on it. And often, when a catastrophe don't happen, there has been a lot of mistakes, and often it is because of a human who takes it into his own hands, or she does, and saves the day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Come to sit beside me to make some questions. So, Mr. Jacobsen, I would like to ask you about, do you have any principle in Denmark, particular for the railways?
Yeah, so you can say the lack of standardization in Europe. I talked about the IMO, the international organization who standardize across the world when it comes to maritime safety. I think that the ERA, the European Railway Agency, shall and will take that role in the coming and forthcoming years. So when we have an accident, an incident, and principle in Denmark which works, or in Germany, or in Greece, then we apply it to all in Europe and we learn from each other. That has been a lack in this system for many years, where it has been very much born and raised in the national interest and inside the national borders. So learnings has not been across borders.
This principle makes controls every month, every year to your organization?
Yeah, we have the National Traffic Authority and the NSA, and also we have ERA as the European agency.
Yes,
the European agency,
we have the same, but we do nothing for that.
Okay. The European agency looks into the national agency, and the agency comes to us, I would say 5 or 6 times a year, to look into all our procedures, how we are doing. We had actually a major accident in Denmark on my watch in 2019, where a freight train lost a wagon and it hit into our train, and 8 people were killed.
8?
2nd January 2019.
What for? Why happened this accident?
The wagon, it was a freight wagon leaving the freight train, going inside the train passing. Terrible accident, but the National Safety Authority has since used a lot of time with the European colleagues to learn from it and to control.
Who was responsible for this accident?
The responsibility laid probably in the system, because many people knew that these wagons were not that well attached. There had been reports on it, but still we don't learn.
You said probably there is not any conclusion already for that.
There's no one you can say who has been prosecuted.
Because we found for our accident the conclusion quickly for that. Who was responsible for?
In my opinion, if one human can make a mistake, the next can also. So we need to look at the system. And if an accident happens, probably the solution is not on an individual.
You mentioned before that the next step of the railways is full digitalization. And I would like to ask you about that. What do you mean? This make us to fear more about it?
I think that it is a solution.
Solution.
It is a solution to apply this system. It will give a lot of increase in safety level, and it will take out a lot of failures, a lot of incidents for the Greek. Yeah,
Okay, thank you very much.
you're welcome.